Okay, so today we are just going to kind of look at some plays and the types of questions that you will see and just kind of work through those questions together before you do this on your own. So it says, when the curtains open, Miss Olson is standing inside her living room wearing a business suit. The doorbell rings and she rushes to answer it. Whitney is standing there. She's wearing a sweater and a long skirt. Hello, you must be Whitney. Do come in and take a seat. Whitney sits on the sofa, but Miss Olson remains standing. Thank you. So, you want to be a nanny this summer? I have a 6-year-old and I'm willing to pay you quite well. I need you from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. every day except Sunday. And I will pay you at the beginning of each week. Can you start tomorrow? Sure. But don't you want to ask me any questions? No, that's not necessary. I already checked with your references.
Screen locked.
Now, maybe you don't know what it means, what a reference is,
Muted. Portrait.
but a reference is like they call people who have done, you've done this job before, and they kind of check out you and your situation. So let's look at some questions. Oh, sorry. Okay, may I meet your son? Russell is at Taekwondo class right now. You will need to meet him tomorrow morning when you begin. Miss Olson walks to the door and opens it. Whitney follows, but stops in the doorway. I guess I'll see you tomorrow at 7 then? Yes, that is correct. Miss Olson removes cash from her suit jacket. She unfolds the bills and counts them out. Whitney's jaw drops as Miss Olson counts higher and higher. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. Here's your first week's salary. Will that be sufficient? She hands Whitney the money. Yes, that will be sufficient. So we can conclude that Miss Olson is pretty rich, has a pretty big house, and that she is willing to pay Whitney a lot of money for that job. It says, what is the most likely reason the playwright includes the characters' ages? So why do you think it was important right here that he included the ages of people? I think it was important because if I think that it lets us know, like, she's a teenager, Miss Olson's an adult. Well, she's 20, but she's a young college girl, and how old Russell is. He's a young kid, but not a baby. Does that help the director set up the stage? No. This information will help the director choose actors to play each character, or this information will help the actors use the correct facial expressions. Well, I think the reason they use the ages is so that I didn't pick a girl that was a teenager to be the one getting babysat for. So I needed to make sure my characters matched up to what was being written down. So B would be the correct answer. In this first scene, the playwright uses a blank tone for the lines that are spoken by Miss Olson. So let's look at the first scene. Hello, you must be Whitney. Do come in and take a seat. So, you want to be my nanny this summer? I have a 6-year-old and I'm willing to pay quite well. I need you from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day except Sunday. And I will pay you at the beginning of each week. Can you start tomorrow? No, that's not necessary. I already checked with your references. Okay, so what can we say about Miss Olson's? Is she angry? Is she confused? Is she formal, or is she relaxed? Well, I don't think that she's angry because there was nothing to say that she was mad. Confused, I think she was not confused. I think she very much knew what she wanted. Formal, I think there's some text evidence to prove she was formal. It said she was wearing a business suit. She stood there. She spoke very clearly. She had checked some references. So she stood and spoke with her. So I think that formal might be a good word. If you didn't know what formal meant, you need to look that up. And my idea of formal is the opposite of relaxed. So I don't think that Miss Olson was relaxed. I think that she was very proper. And formal is going to mean like proper. So there we go. In the stage directions in paragraphs 3, 10, and 13, indicate what? Well, I need to go back and look, because if I don't look, then I don't know. It says Whitney sits on the sofa, but Miss Olson remains standing. 10. Miss Olson walks to the door and opens it. Whitney follows but stops in the doorway. And Miss Olson removes cash from her jacket. She unfolds the bills and counts them out. Whitney's jaw drops as Miss Olson counts higher and higher. So, what do those, what can I infer from those? Can I infer that Whitney and Miss Olson will soon become friends? I don't think they're going to be friends. An official relationship where Miss Olson is the boss and Whitney is her employer. Maybe, because Miss Olson's very proper, going to pay her, this is your job, telling her what's going to happen. That Whitney cannot be trusted. Well, I don't think she would hire her if she couldn't trust her. And that Miss Olson is a lawyer. Just because she's in a business suit does not mean she is a lawyer. So I would say B. In lines 14 and 15, the word sufficient means what? So this is a word you would definitely want to look up in the dictionary. But let's look here. She counts out all the money and she said, there's your first week's salary. Will that be sufficient? So what do we need to stop and think? What do I think sufficient might mean? Well, in my head, I would replace it with, will that be enough? So I would go back to my answer choices. An appropriate amount of something, too much, too little, or to experience pain. We know it has nothing to do with pain. And I think she was saying, like, is this the right amount? Is this good for you? So an appropriate amount would be the word that goes with that. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. I just wanted to kind of go through. Tomorrow we're going to look at scene 2 that goes with this and look at some more questions to practice.